Hi everyone, thanks for coming today. I appreciate the opportunity to get a second chance to show you our NewHire technology. I'm imagining that several of you at least were in Boston, and I'm hoping with a little bit of luck that you've all recovered from your hangovers and you're ready to go. So my presentation is going to be brief, but my demonstration will be as in-depth as you'd like. You can raise your hand over on the right side of the screen. You can type a message in the chat window, and I will do my best to get to your questions as we're going. I'll leave some time at the end to ask your questions as well. Okay, so let's get started. So again, thank you for attending. We're going to spend a couple minutes on what the value add that NewHire brings to you as OMG partners. We'll do a tour of the NewHire process. We'll talk about the details on the distributorship, and we will answer your questions, both as we're going along and also at the end. NewHire provides the candidates the hiring tools and the coaching to help business hire better. And we bring that to you so that you can help your clients find great talent for their open positions. So what are a few of the key points of value? And this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some of the ones that I think are most important. For your clients, they're going to get hiring software that manages the advertising and the candidate responses. They're going to be able to leverage your trusted advisor relationship even further. They're going to find it to be cost effective, and it will certainly reduce their time to hire in most circumstances. For you, we'd like to think of it as an excellent source of revenue for you, a way to leverage your existing relationships for more business. It can provide stickiness to your website. So if you brand for your company and you put the login on your website, then your clients will be coming to your website to find their candidates for work. And then we are advertising and sourcing experts here to serve you. So while we know that there's a variety of experience in the network for people's recruiting, we all know that you're sales experts. So where we can be helpful to you in helping your clients recruit, we're going to be able to do that. In some ways we'll be able to do that is by providing you ROI data on recruitment advertising, help with writing ad text and adding questions along the way. Each NewHire application comes with advertising on Indeed.com, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and our job board at NewHire. We'll look at some more details on that in a couple minutes because there's a variety of kinds of advertising. We also offer discounted name brand advertising to our customers. Those would be, and we manage all those job ads for you, so you don't have to and your client doesn't have to, which is a great time savings. And also there's little tweaks and tricks that we do on a regular basis to make sure that you and your clients are getting the most out of your advertising. And we can provide you campaign reporting to show you just how well or poorly your advertising is doing, giving you ammunition in your discussions with your clients about how the recruiting is going. Some of the sites that we offer premium advertising on are Career Builder, LinkedIn, Craigslist, Indeed. So you saw Indeed on the free side. Indeed is also on the paid side because they have a pay per click or a sponsor model that we can also deploy on your behalf. We also are doing Facebook ads, Google AdWords, and Glassdoor has some premium advertising slots available as well. So with that being said, I'd like to show you what I wasn't able to show you in Boston. And boy, I've tried this out a few times to make sure it's working. So here's our website at NewHire. That you did get to see. And now we're going to take a look at a NewHire pre-employment application. I'm going to give you one that is live and deployed on behalf of a distributor so you can see what that looks like. And then we'll go back to the sample one in a moment. So here is an application for Pizzeria Uno. Uno Foods, they develop pizza or sell it all over the country. And this is a regional sales manager position in Dallas, Texas. What you're looking at is a NewHire application. It's branded for Uno, but it's on our website, and you can see that up here. So a NewHire application is made up of a couple of parts. You can see the logo at the top. You can see the share function here so that you, your clients, and their friends, neighbors, employees, vendors, etc., can share their jobs throughout their social networks, whether that's in LinkedIn, whether that's Google+. You can tweet the job, you can share it on Facebook, etc. This is the new way, of course, of getting the word out, in addition to the old ways of recruitment advertising, which we'll also look at. You can see that we support a link here so that job candidates, when they arrive on this page, can click to look at the Uno Foods website. And then very appropriately, this client has put the what's in it for them, the value proposition, up at the top. So we have the information about income and benefits, and you can see ongoing Sandler training there too for those of you who are associated with Sandler. And then they have a who you are, who we are, and responsibilities, areas of preferred experience, competencies. It's a fairly long application. And then there's a confidential application below. So what we like to say is at the top, this is about what's in it for the candidate. And then as we go down toward the bottom, this is what's in it for the hiring manager. This is how the hiring manager is going to collect the information about the candidates that are interested in their job. Candidates will arrive and fill out the online application and answer the key questions. Every set of questions is going to be different. And I know that some of you are thinking right now, well, how do people get here? And we're going to address that in just a moment. But just to give you a sneak preview, they got here from Indeed, they got here from LinkedIn, they got here from Uno's website, they got here from your website, they got here from Craigslist and any other place you can think to post the job. They all arrive in one place and they fill out the same information, which then becomes searchable. So this client wants to know if the candidate is currently employed, how they would describe their personality, their years of outside sales experience, broker management experience, K-12 experience, branded and private label experience, and on a daily basis, how do you spend most of your time? Managing accounts, prospecting, lead generation, working with brokers, qualified closing. I hope this is firing your imagination a little bit about the kinds of things that you can ask. And I understand that all of this is going to be building toward the deployment of an OMG assessment, and we're going to show you that in just a moment. But here are some things that OMG assessments don't necessarily grab, and you get a richer set of information. I know this client, this is one of his favorite. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how happy are you in your current position? And then you're going to get the ability to collect references, work history. When can you start working is a required field. And then folks attach a resume just like they'd attach a document to an email. If your client is required to collect equal employment opportunity information, they can do that right at the bottom of the application. This application doesn't have that now, but I can show you another one in a moment that does. So candidates find this application in a variety of ways. They fill it out, they get to the bottom, they attach their resume, they click submit, and then some magic starts to happen. The first magic is that you can trigger an email to that candidate, each individual candidate who applies, that comes from the hiring manager. That may be you, that may be your client, and it can have instructions on the next step in the process. In this case, let me show you what that might look like. So now I'm logging live into the software. And I had picked out an application before that has the information that I'm looking for, so that we're going to edit an application for an OMG partner client called PackSmart. Here they are. And what I want to show you when I edit it is that they have an auto email to their candidates. So there's an auto reply. They can set it for immediately after the application. They can also set it for 24 or 48 hours after the application. The reason for that is some people have found that delaying the response to the initial application by some period of time makes the applicant feel as if the application had been reviewed. And then you can see that there's a branded template. It's coming from the client. And the subject is Sales Manager, PackSmart, Next Steps. And of course, you can read this for yourself, but it has the information about applying for the job at PackSmart, the link to the Express screen, and some of the information that they're going to need, and a thank you. So the candidate gets this email either directly after they complete the application or 24 or 48 hours after that, and allowing them to go to take the express screen to determine their level of applicability to the job that's being recruited for. So that's the end of this application. And I told you that this goes out into a variety of ways, so I just wanted to show you one way that that happens, and that would be on Indeed.com, the world's most popular job board. And I'm going to be searching for the ad that I just showed you at Uno. It's a regional sales manager job in Dallas, Texas, which I clicked on. And I need to click on it again because of a little bug in Indeed. And here you can see the regional sales manager jobs that are available in Dallas, Texas, including at Lind, at Tyco, at Kohler, at MSA. And right here you can see the Uno Foods in Dallas, Texas. And a click on the application, on the heading, will take you to that branded application. So what you just saw there, which I think is important to point out, is the experience of the job candidate. I found the open position that I'm interested in, I clicked, and I can see more information about the job, and I can fill out the online application. I don't have to register with the website in order to do this. I don't have to give up my blood type, etc. I don't have to create a profile. I can simply fill out the application if I think it's appropriate. Will everyone fill it out? No, but hopefully the people that are appropriate to the job will fill it out. Will everybody that fills it out also follow the instructions to take the express screen? No, they won't. But in the experience at PackSmart that was reported by John Martin, who works with Jody Williamson in Chicago, they had 60% compliance with their express screen assessment, and that was really great for them. They appreciated that. Other ways to get to the job would be from LinkedIn. Here's our LinkedIn job board, and it has a variety of jobs, and you can see a number of them are in sales, 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 and sales. So we do have experience helping you do this. Of course, we never want to talk to your clients. We're happy to have you talk to them and to support you. So now the candidates have applied for the job. That's great. But what about wearing the other hat as the sales manager? Let's say that you are delivering candidates. You're responsible for delivering candidates to your client, and you want to find out who the best available talent is for a particular job. The job that I'm currently going to search for is a sample application that we developed. We changed all the names and addresses here so that we could share it with you. But it actually contains the 516 real people who answered the questions. All their answers are the same, just their names and addresses have been changed. So I'm wearing now the hat of a hiring manager. I've logged into the software, and I've clicked on a link for screening my candidates. And now what I'm going to do is simply fill out my form for the candidate profile that I'm looking for. And I'm going to start with education. This client didn't care that much about education, so they're looking at some college or a college graduate. They were looking for somebody 2 to 9 years of sales experience. They wanted that person to have business-to-business sales experience rather than business-to-consumer. And the client was very committed to having to recruiting for somebody who had formal sales training. So we're checking on the Sandler selling or other formal sales training that they may have had. They didn't want to consider people that had never earned $40,000 a year, and they really couldn't afford people who had earned more than $80,000 a year in compensation. So we're going to check those two off as the sweet spot in the compensation range. And then, gosh, in the state of Michigan, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can actually discriminate against smokers in your recruiting. So when asked, do you smoke, we'd prefer to find people who answer no. So having filled out the form, we click Search Now. And what we get is the 33 candidates out of the 516 that most closely match the criteria that we said we cared about. The likelihood is that some of these people have taken the express screen and others of them haven't. And so if somebody in here looks good and has taken the express screen, why, that might be a really good person to hone right in on, and that would save you a ton of time. If the person looks good based on their resume, which you can pop open right here with a click, then you might call them up on the phone, which you can find right here, to call them and ask them if they would be willing to take the assessment, to send them the link again to help them through that process, because not everybody will take the assessment the first time through. You're also going to get to compare apples to apples in terms of answers to questions. This particular client, you can see obviously they had other formal sales training and the compensation range, etc. This particular client had asked this key question. The sales manager at the company always asked people that he was interviewing about a time that perseverance was necessary to arrive at a desired accomplishment. Well, in this case, you can see what this person's answer was about their quota being raised, and rather than sulking, they made their cold calls and reached their higher quota. You might think that's a good answer. You might not think it's a great answer. That would be up to you, but you get to actually compare apples to apples by going to record number 2 and reading whether this is a better answer than that. John, I see you have a question. John, go ahead and ask.
I was asking, can you conduct this resume? Where does this search go? Does it go out on all the job board places where you place the ad, or is it just in certain ones?
It automatically will go to the 4 websites I outlined: Indeed, Simply Hired, Glassdoor, and NewHire, which is our website. Those happen basically when you say publish, and that's under your control, or we can help you do that. And then additional advertising we can sell to you at a discount because we buy it in bulk on CareerBuilder, LinkedIn, we use Craigslist, we use Google AdWords. We've done a variety of things which we can place for you, or you would be free to get your own advertising and do it yourself as well, just directing people to the correct link. Does that answer your question?
So just one more clarification.
Sure.
So there's 4 places that are included that you will have this search capability, but the other ones that are ads where it's a subscription or you pay for the service, you give reduced pricing to place the ad. Do you also charge additionally for the ability to search on those additional places?
No, thanks for clarifying that. The online application that we're looking at now, the landing page that I showed you before, and the searching are all included every time you use the software.
Thank you.
Thank you. If anybody else has a question, go ahead and pop up your hand, and I will look for your questions. So what we've seen here so far is the ability to search for a subset of candidates that match, and that would be a good place to start, especially when you combine it with the results from your OMG assessment. I also want to show you that down here at the bottom of the application, you have the ability to take an unlimited set of notes on candidates. You have the ability to mark their status in the search, and you have the ability to track them, the level of contact you've had with them. Right here, those all become searchable. You also have this thing called tags, and some of you may be familiar with tags and others of you not, but tags mean that you can label this record, Kate Washington's record, with whatever your heart desires in terms of naming the tag. And that may be geographically desirable, it may be past express screen, it may be failed express screen. There is really an infinite number of ways to keep track, and you can use that with your tags, and that becomes searchable. To give you an idea of how that might work, I'm going to click on New Search right here. It's also at the top of the screen. And now, instead of searching on those criteria that we looked at before, I'm going to search on a tag called Past Skills Test and also Phone Screened, because I want to know who was phone screened and also passed the skills test. And you can see here that 10 of the 516 both passed the phone screen and had a skills test. If we look at those same 10 people in a list view, we can see that those were all people that were recommended for interview, the 10 people in that current list. If we go back to the new search and we click list view, we can see all 516, and we could sort those by status. These are statuses that we've marked, And you can see the ones that were recommended for interview, qualified, maybes. I'm going a little fast there. I think the screen's not updating so quickly. So there are some maybes, and then up at the top were recommend for interviews. This was really a real database, and they hired 6 candidates out of it, so that's why there's so many recommend for interviews there. So that's the screening and tracking process, simply put, that NewHire has. Does anybody else have any questions about that? So to recap, you have an online application. You work on it together with your client to make sure that you've captured the key accountabilities of the job and the value proposition to the candidate. And by the way, this is a terrific way to make sure that you're both on the same page, that you know who it is. Everybody agrees to the target candidate because it's all set down right here. And if the scope changes, then the process has to change. From here, it can be advertised out onto Indeed, onto LinkedIn, onto a variety of websites to build a candidate pool that can then be screened and tracked here, each step of the way saving you some time and some money. For my last few minutes, what I'd like to do is tell you a bit more about the distributorship details. We have, I think, in the neighborhood, I think we're up to 32 distributorships around the country. We work with a variety of service professionals, either in the sales field, in management consulting for small business, peer board group advisors who have licensed our process and are delivering it to their clients. There's a one-time fee. There's a signed agreement, which I'll provide to you so you can review and ask questions. There's a one-time fee of $1,100 to get started. If you sign up by May 30th, as I promised in Boston, we'll knock off and we will not charge you the $800 to brand the site for yourself. And I can show you an example of the brand if you'd like. And each NewHire application costs $400. The NewHire application is that unit, the UNO application that you saw. That comes with the advertising on Indeed, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and our website, and also all the screening and tracking tools that go with it. You also get 4 hours of training to get you up and going. You get a boatload of documents that we think will help you in communicating with candidates and making sure that your process is going smoothly. And we're unlimited in our phone support, so whenever you need help, we're going to be here. You get additional discounts on recruitment advertising, and another great part is that we do the advertising for you. And let me go back there. And then I just was going to show you also quickly the NewHire distributorship pricing document, which I can send to you. I think the screen is still updating. Here's the setup training. It says 3 hours here. It includes the domain setup, so that's a 4th hour. And the recruitment process documents. The $800 we're not going to charge you. The $400 for each application, that's good for 90 days use of recruiting. If you or your client need to go on, that application is $50 a month after that. For those of you that are interested, and I don't know whether you would be or not, but many of our distributors are, we offer blocks of service hours. So for this, you could use our trained staff to execute phone screenings, to set candidate appointments, to work with you in whatever way that can help leverage your time so that you're spending the most of your time in front of your client and delivering them top candidates. If you choose to buy in bulk, you can see you can get discounts on multiple applications. 10, they cost $350 each, 20, $300 each, so you're able to make some additional money on those applications. And we can talk about different business models if you'd like in the question and answer. And then our recommended pricing, our retail price for this is $600 on our website. It's not our most popular product. Our most popular product is $2,000 that gets them all the setup and et cetera. That helps them with their recruiting process directly. And then we have discounted advertising on a variety of job boards that you can see here. And I'm happy to send you all of this information so that you don't have to try to read it on my screen as I'm scrolling by. Finally, we're happy to post anywhere that makes sense for you. We're currently working with a local bank to hire high-level sales reps for large leases, and they're going into their industry online magazine, and we're placing that ad for them. They don't have to do it. We just charge them 15% over the cost for that. All right, well, that covers the half hour that I said I would spend telling you about what we do. I'm happy to open this up for questions now. So if you would like to raise your hand to ask a question, I'd be happy to answer that. If you have any now, of course, we can also talk offline. John, did you have another question, or is that the same question?
That was the same question.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I don't see any questions at the moment, so I hope to be able to be in touch with you each as you are ready to discuss this in more detail, and we certainly will follow up with an email that has the documents in it about the package and also the agreement, and we'll send the presentation and the link to the recording as well. Thanks again for coming, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.